NGDEV has become a developer that I support without reservation, that has yet to produce a title I haven't enjoyed. Razion, Gunlord, Fast Striker. Every title of theirs has delivered, and Gunvane has thrown them all as their best. It's one of my favorite experiences of the year, one that I can easily see myself coming back to beyond it. Aggression is key, in eliminating enemies before their bullets can take bloom, and Gunvane is the real deal, comparable to a cave release. That joyous feeling that comes from navigating through and around a cascade, your body physically inching closer to the display with an unbreakable focus on survival. This game is true. Bomb fragments are dropped that will increase the meter around the ship and the top left of the screen, converting to a bomb when full. The drop rate is better the faster you destroy, and with 3 bombs all that can be held at a time, you're encouraged to deploy often. Invulnerability will briefly follow, as from an occasional golden fragment. An emergency state, enter by consuming 5 fragments when out. Another reason to bomb often are golden medals they'll drop, maximizing points. The extend threshold is easy to hit, and you'll earn several to keep a 1cc on the horizon, but that's not to say it's easy to survive. You'll always be challenged to do so, never feeling unfair, but suited to its 3 difficulties. Gunvane wants to ensure everyone can revel in its fun, even if it can get brutal. So if you're not one for a perfect run, it does extend a hand in the form of continues. Your score won't be saved to a leaderboard, but will convert to a currency towards optional purchases. Say your death was had by a mid-boss. Why not avenge it with an extra life, or perhaps a one-shot shield, since you'll re-enter the fray from a checkpoint. Continues can be had too, but also permanently by clearing missions, 2 of which precede the game as tutorials. They'll impart the basics. One for the mechanics of Gunvane, the other for bullet hell generally. Damn, was I left impressed. Will give or sharpen the edge to anyone playing, expounding on concepts that I've only intuited. Using Katsui as an example, bullets streaming. There are 3 ships to choose from. Type A is the most balanced, with a limited range to its lock-on special, the bomb localized, devastating. Type B can lock on across the field, but is offset by a lack of general power. With it, I have to be more conscious of my bomb stock, as the lack of power adds seconds to a fight otherwise. Where every shot is lethal, each moment counts. You don't want a mistake to encroach from a lapse of focus. For its bomb is a beam, they'll easily net medals. It's my favorite. Although the title for the ship goes to the last, Type C, the fastest and strongest. The special builds a charge that can be released like a bomb, or power completely into a Hadoken. Like Type A, the top part of the screen will become home. Fights will feel short, the power difference can be felt, the only con being its bomb. A burst that, while not weak, isn't as effective for metals as the others. None of the 3 ships are bad, just a question of preference. I don't feel a run is precluded by having selected one over the other, but that I do have to adapt to their differences. What is more important is the game's control, which feels responsive to the tap. Perfect. And the music complements the action, endowing the feeling that you can overcome it all. The stages are 5-fold. The thought that they're going on for too long never strikes either. You'll advance through them at a satisfying pace. The same goes for most of the bosses, with only 2 that'll test your endurance. The stage 3 boss is a brute when it comes to taking damage, smaller than the rest, with bullet patterns that'll make it hard to get a hit in, and is the only one that has you avoid rear fire. It does feel a bit off to the rest of the game, and one I had to practice. The other is the final boss, that all normal and hard adopts a final form. Endurance is tested here only due to the fact that if you play without a continue, you feel the pain of death as I have here. I won't lie, it was demoralizing like a Death and Crimson Clover in arranged mode. Dude, what the? The arcade mode is fun, with few things that betray the fact that I'm not playing a cave game, like far easier extends along with some bullet shapes and colors. With how esteemed they are in the community, that says something about NGDEV's latest game. The story's never made known, Gunvane resorting to a result screen for its ending. I'm not bothered by it. Like retro-style FPS, it's more about the gameplay to me. That would honestly be the only con that I could conceive. From the main menu, you can revisit stages from a stage select, or select practice mode, where you can adjust a host of parameters. You can overkill by setting the spawn rate to max, where it's insane. Where I think many will invest their time beyond the arcade mode is the roguelike range, which comes in two flavors. On Standard, start at base power and select the choice of upgrade through a level up, like acquiring use of a special. As is the nature of a roguelike, it's about capitalizing with what you're given, skill the deciding factor. Joy could be fostered as much as a lament. Like here, improve your stats across the board in exchange by moving up the difficulty ladder? Sure, I have faith. Levels are taken from the core game, but the order is remixed along with the bullet patterns. If you prefer predictability from your ship, forsake upgrades altogether by going minimal. A roguelike mode makes you wonder how it hasn't become a staple extra of the genre already. It's a hell of one, an ideal way of offering more beyond a new game version. Gunvane is great, one of my favorite releases of the year. Not only can I regard it as NGDEV's best, I'm sure it'll be brought up in discussions and make lists as a staple shmup. And unlike past entries in their catalog, the game will launch across platforms, rendering it easy for anyone to check it out. How can I not recommend it when it's so readily available? The gameplay is so addictive and tight. Whether in the absence of continues, or in the want of checkpoints, capitalizing on the shot for added fun, or putting your skills to the test, the game suits both mindsets. It's a good entry point for beginners as it is a skill check for veterans. If the game has looked appealing to you, just know that it's improbable that the promise will not meet expectation. Again, the game is the real deal. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you have any thoughts, please leave a comment. Or if you found potential in me and what I could produce, please subscribe. Once more, thank you all, and have a good one.